Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land, I'm the Moorish Empire or whatever, bitch snitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and then just get every sovereign citizen that's ever been recorded. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Moorish Empire, traveler on the land, bitch snitch, Moorish Empire, God dang, you're right, traveler on the land, bitch snitch. Late evening, U.S. people. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, and all that other stuff. I welcome you to Legal Vices, the channel where law meets life. We dissect the cases that grip the world, that dominate the headlines, to bring you the hidden gems you've never heard of. I'm here to break them down for you in ways that are engaging, enlightening, occasionally a bit irreverent, and hopefully somewhat entertaining. Whether it's headline-making courtroom dramas, shocking criminal trials, the legal battles that shape our everyday lives, or anything else that just happens to come our way, we break down the facts, the legal twists, the shocking developments, and the jaw-dropping moments you need to know. Are you ready to deep dive into the world of justice, crime, and controversy with me, the world's foremost lawfluencer, Legal Vices? It's going to be a wild ride, so buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that like button, because this is your front row seat to the law's most gripping stories, including today's story, Day 3 of the LEILANI Simon trial. You are not going to want to miss this. We've got a lot to get through today, because if you watched this last time, you'll know that we thought we were watching the first part of Day 3, when in fact we were watching the first part of Day 8. So I hate to break this to you, but we're gonna have to go back and watch the real Day 3 today. We're gonna start with Day 3. We'll do it Day 3. It seems like it's taking us about 3 to 4 days to get through one day. So 9-day trial ahead of us. We've got a few more days left, still about 6 more days after today. So let's get into this. First and foremost, we are now currently and officially for the next little while in Day 55 of the emotional support potato pig dogs. The big question normally is, will we get to Day 56? Will we make it another day? Will we keep the streak alive with unleashing the emotional support potato pig dogs? Well, let me just tell you, because of everybody's generosity on the weird Lego stream we did Sunday, we hit the Monday goal. We couldn't do the doggo cam on Sunday because all of my cameras were in use. So right now, right out of the gate, before anything happens, we got to drop the hammer and release the hose. There we go. Day 55 is in the bucket. We are now into day 56 of the emotional support potato pig dogs. So, hi guys. That's where we are. We got day 56 of the emotional support potato pig dogs, and y'all didn't have to do a dang thing because you did it all on the weekend. But I am, as I said, just glad you're here with me doing these things. You guys are great. But please, we don't grift and it's not required, but don't let that stop you today. Right, we got currently 103 viewers, 74 likes. So it's time to take a look at our like and subscribe poll for today. What's it gonna be? What do you think about these time changes? And now most of the world that changes their times has changed their times. It's U.S. comes up last. We had Australia first, then UK and a bunch of Europe, and then the US just joined us. Of course, Korea doesn't do time changes. Japan doesn't do time changes. But for most of you, it's an hour back. For the Aussies, it's an hour ahead. So what do you think about all this? Just a simple little poll just to let me know how you're feeling about things. And just to remind you to do those YouTube-y things, to hit the like and subscribe button. So the poll questions today are, what do you think about time changes? You just roll with the punches. You hate it for a bit, but then you forget about it. You hate it always, and it's just 6 months of legal vices at a weird time slot. All right, those are your choices. Just hit that like and subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, please double check to make sure you are. We've gained a huge number of followers during the Sarah Boone trial, during the first part of the Leilani trial, and due to some of the shorts. But YouTube has just said, we're going to take away about 50 of those subscribers from you over the past day. So if you have been subscribed, if you are subscribed, just double check to make sure you are still subscribed. And with that, that's just a little note. I think that's all we've got. We got the Doggo Cam unleashed. We got Strawberry there. Yoda is in a coma down here. I played with them quite a bit this evening, so they should be nice and good and tired. Right, I got nothing else. Let's get into day 3 of this, shall we? And Tiffany cursing for some reason. I'm just checking over here on chat. I hate spring forward. 7 a.m. Still dark. Yeah. Like I've said before, Korea did the time change thing twice, and then they said this is just dumb. We ain't doing this anymore. So they stopped doing it. But so that's why I haven't changed my time. Y'all have just changed your times, basically. I know some of us are still in the same time zone. All righty. I think we should get on with the show. And let's see. Gotta make sure everything is where it should be. We're gonna be watching this at 1.25 speed. Oh, let's bring that. All right, I got everything. I think I got everything all set up nice and neat here. Closed captions. Weird. What? How can close? All right, there's no. This is gonna suck probably. There's no closed caption, so you'll have to pump up the volume. The volume should be okay. It should be balanced. But it seems there are no closed captions for this particular day. So, all right, peeps, let's get into it, shall we? Judge, where are you? All right, this is our judge. She's going to make a ruling that where we. Let's see. All right, let's go. I'll just shut up and we'll play. Again, if any super chats come in, we will read those at the normal breaks, at the sidebars, when they just take too long to bring up some evidence, or any other chance if it's something really super important, we'll stop. We try not to talk over them too much, but if it's not important, I'll talk over. If it's something really important that I need to do right now, we'll pause the video. But you guys know the rules. Let's go. And play.
Intends to present and admit into evidence. I've heard and considered arguments for both. At this time, the court does find that the unredacted version of the text messages is inadmissible. I went through and read all of the text messages. The sexual and salacious nature of some of the text messages in exhibit are not relevant to the charged conduct. Now, after applying the balancing test, 403 balancing test.
Can
I find
anybody
the
hear the
total
court
value
at all?
is,
And if so, how's the balance? Me, I should be
prejudice
slightly
factor,
louder than the court.
matters outweigh at this time the probative value. So they're not going to come in at this time. Now, if things change, the court will consider it, but at this time, that's a court ruling. Madam Clerk, I'm going to pass down State's Exhibit 83.
So just to be clear, is it just the exhibit, or is it any testimony about from Detective Lemons about what they saw on the phone and what seemed to be going on with the defendant and Craig and asking her about it and her answering? Is it just that the specific language in the messages is a 403 problem, or is it the subject matter in general?
The language is a 403 problem. Mr. Hilliard, do you object to the detectives just testifying about the information with the defendant and Craig/Red?
Well, my motion had to do with prejudicial effect. My motion had to do with prejudicial effect of this affair, Judge. It has to do with the sexual nature of it, which has nothing to do with charge conduct, the reason we're here, or anything to do with the indictment itself. So my motion had to do with any reference to the affair, the language.
Why was he
anything
speaking
like
at a
that.
million
So
miles an hour?
I don't know how you can parse it out. I mean, we know that she went and met Red, but I don't think that there's any reason to get into the sexual nature of these text messages. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And actually, I know how I see it in terms of
Yeah, so
parsing it
the
out. The text messages don't come in.
so the if you missed the very end, what or maybe I didn't even play it, but there were some objections to some of text messages of a rather sexual nature that she was sending to I guess her drug dealer and some dude named Craig, and the defense wants it redacted and the prosecution doesn't, and the judge is explaining what's happening here.
Oh, I see it in terms of parsing it out. The text messages don't come in, or at least the unredacted text messages do not come in as they stand right now. The fact that she met with Red has already been some of the testimony and some of the evidence. I do find her meeting with Red is intrinsic. How far should the court go? How far should the evidence go in the sexual relationship? You know, at this point, I'm going to find that the sexual relationship with Red is inadmissible at this time.
Oh,
I
Wow.
understand your
she had a fiance and she was having sex with her drug dealer. I think that makes me hate her even more. Just saying.
Okay.
I just wanted to be clear that it was, and the only reason I ask is the court initially referenced them unredacted text messages, which suggested to me that perhaps there was, in the court's view, some way of sanitizing it or sort of softening the evidence that would make it admissible. But I understand the court's ruling. Of course, we accept it and we're ready to move on.
All right. I thank you for your clarifying question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hilliard. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we need to take up before we bring the jury out?
Yeah, you're right.
And I take it that we're going to pick up with Detective Lemons.
Yes.
And let's bring in the jury, please.
All right, Detective Lemons is back on the stand. And hopefully when the jury gets in, everybody will mic the hell up and speak directly into their mics. The judge is good about using the mic. Some of the witnesses are good about using the mic. The defense lawyer, he makes sure he always has his mic on. The prosecutor's just been crap at it so far. So, so who knows? Oh, look at this here. Right out of the gate, Shelby Fogg dropping the $2 Aussie. Thank you very much. I took my dog to the vet anyway. 74 kilograms. Good God. It's the old question, what does a 74-pound dog eat?
Thank you.
Any damn thing he wants. All right, Detective, thank you very much for that.
All right. You may all have a seat.
Detective Lemons back on the
Thank
stand.
you. And the question is, have you been able to comply with the court's instructions? Have you discussed the case with anyone? No research done? All right. Thank you very much. We will now resume. Mr. Dean, you may call your witness.
Marion Lemons.
Let's see, her name was Marion Lemons. Marion Lemons.
when we left off, we had just finished the interview that ended right about 10:30 at night on October 5th. Is that right?
Yes,
Later that night, did you and Special Agent Snyder interview the defendant one last time?
we did.
Again in the interview room?
Yes.
I'm gonna see if Court
Your Honor,
TV is
this time
any
I'll
better.
publish From State's Exhibit 3, a file bearing the file name Interview Room 2355 0038.
Give me 1 second, Judge. I just wanna make sure.
Oh, great. While I'm trying to see if Court TV audio is any better on this, they decide to stop talking. That helps. Court TV. All right, I'm just kind of bouncing over to the Court TV site here now. Looking for day 3. Well, they talk about stuff. I guess I can fast forward through their stuff, huh?
Thank you, Mr. Hilliard. Mr. Dean, you may proceed.
Proceed, buddy. We've all gone deaf. Hello, hello.
I may proceed and see whether. All right.
Back to you.
Hello.
But we've come in here several times and told you.
Oh, Jesus. Lord, help us. It's more of the interrogation video. I can't. Oh, I can't with this. Not a clue how long. Okay, good. This looks like it doesn't go on very long. So everybody pray to whatever deity or force you may believe in and help us get through this.
I've been opening up everything that I could, and whatever I didn't clarify or say right, whatever I'm clarifying, I would never be a reason for something that happened to my baby. You don't understand that. I'm so serious.
Just relax. Just relax.
I'm trying to relax. It's not only have I lost my son this morning when I woke up, he's not there. But by the end of the night, I'm sitting there being told that everything looks like it's my fault. It's my fault because I put my son to bed last night and woke up to him being gone. That's my fault.
There's so many inconsistencies going on in your story.
How? I even sat there and like 360 for how
Oh,
I pulled up anything
people,
that I could
people,
to show that
my peeps, my followers, my minions, my friends. Court TV is way better on the audio. the court, we're switching over to Court TV. Yeah, audio mucho betero. That's. Oh wow! All right, I mean it's like night and friggin' day different. Dear. All right, let's see. Bringing on up. Present. Share screen. Still no subtitles though. For some
Parse
reason.
it out. I mean, we know that she went and met Red, but I don't think that there's any reason to get into the sexual.
Does that sound a little
nature
better
of
to
the text
y'all?
messages, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And actually, I know how I see it in terms of parsing.
That sounds a
it
little
out.
better, doesn't it?
The text messages don't come in, or at least the unredacted text messages do not come in as they stand right now. The fact that she met with Red has already been some of the testimony and some of the evidence. I do find her meeting with Red is intrinsic. How far should the court go? How far should the evidence go in the sexual
I
relationship?
still can't believe she's smashing her drug dealer.
You know, at this point, I'm
I don't know
going
who's worse.
to
Well, she's clearly worse overall.
find
but
that
you don't know.
the sexual relationship with Red is inadmissible at this time as well.
How's my audio balance?
Oh,
Am
I
I
just
should,
wanted
like I
to
said, I should be
clear
about
this.
5 or 10% louder.
And
than
the only
before.
reason I ask is the court initially referenced the unredacted text messages. which suggested to me that perhaps there was, in the court's view, some way of sanitizing it or sort of softening the evidence that would make it admissible. But I understand the court's ruling. Of course, we accept it and we're ready to move on.
All right, I thank you for your clarifying question.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
think I
Hilliard.
understand it as well.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we need to take up before we bring the jury out?
God dang.
No, you're
And I take it that we're going to pick up with Detective Lemons.
yes.
Right. So we can rest
And let's
safe
bring
in the
in the jury,
knowledge that
please.
we have decent audio. All right, let's bring the jury in and get the lead detective and her lemons settled on the bench.
Thank
there.
you.
Got the jury. There we go. And then let's start the video. Now, guess what, people? She's going to be
I think
yelling at us
When we
louder.
left off, we had just finished the interview that ended right about 10:30 at night on October 5th. Is that right?
Yes.
Later that night, did you and Special Agent
All
Snyder
right,
interview
I set
the
my
defendant one
set my
last time?
audio
We did.
to auto.
Again,
Tell me
in
if
the
that's too
interview.
loud.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I would publish from State's Exhibit 3 a file bearing the file name Interview Room 2355 to 003.
All right, let's get ready for it to yell at us louder. Hmm.
Give me 1 second, Judge. I just want to make sure.
This, gosh, she's got herself a little. I was just looking at the camera here, a little bit ahead of y'all. All right. Oh, she's got her little water bottle, protein shake, whatever she's got there.
This we need not discuss, Judge. There'll be a little bit edited at the end, but other than that, no, Judge.
All right.
Come back to you.
Hell no.
But we've come in here several times and told you.
It's like I've been open about everything that I could, and whatever I didn't clarify or say right, whatever I've clarified, I would never be the reason when something happened to my baby. You can understand that. I was so serious.
Well, they always say it. Just relax.
It's hard to realize it's not only him. This morning when I woke up, he's not there. My body is in the line. I'm sitting there being told that everything looks like it's
I've already had enough of her voice, so I'm more than happy to stop and mention that Jonathan Irwin just dropped a Legal Vices membership, and that went to Kimberly Rudd. Kimberly Rudd gets the one Legal Vices membership gifted by the one and only Jonathan Irwin. If you're here, Kimberly Rudd, make sure you give Jonathan Irwin a super special thanks. And we just did a members only stream a couple days ago, yesterday, as a matter of fact. So you can go back and watch that. Oh, Kimberly Rudd says, yay. All right. Let's get back to LEILANI Simon.
my fault. It was my fault because I put my son to bed last night and woke up to him being gone. That's my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault because you murdered him.
There's so many inconsistencies, Leona, in your story.
How? I've been sat there and got on like 360 for hell, pulled up anything that I could to show that this is what happened. This is where I went. This is what I did. Here's the proof that this is where I went.
This woman who says, I never left the house. Oh, yeah, I left the house once at 10 to go to the convenience store. Oh, yeah, I left again also at like 1:30 to go pay off my drug dealer. Oh, yeah, I left a lot of times. No, I didn't do anything. Well, yes, I smoked weed. Okay, I also smoked some crack and took some Percocets. And she's saying, what inconsistencies? There's no inconsistencies. Alan, as I've mentioned a couple times already, pay attention, my friend. There are no closed captions on this. You'll just have to learn to interpret fake sobbing American crazy woman speech without the benefit of closed captions. We've got none on this for some reason. None on Law and Crime, and none over here on Court TV either. Sorry.
Wait. Every time I look at our house, you can ask me, you can ask
How was my
everybody,
story
and they
inconsistent?
were all in that room. Every single one was in that room. When I went to bed, every single one was in that room. And yes, they were perfectly fine. Yes, they were breathing. Yes, he moved when I touched him. Yes, they were all in there. And they were perfectly okay. Okay? And then I got up, it was done. You want to talk about a mother's worst nightmare? A mother's worst nightmare is not knowing dang well at all if her child is even okay or not. A mother's worst nightmare is not knowing if you were ever going to even know what actually happened to your baby.
Oh, you know what happened to him, bitch.
Wondering if he's going to get a proper funeral. He's wondering if he's ever going to get one at all. He's wondering if he's ever going to know what happened to him.
Let's just say he's not going to until you let us know the accident that happened.
There's nothing that happened. And I'm going to say that there's no accident. There's no inconsistency. What? Because I forgot to say something about my hand back up front. And then I came out true about it. Told you about it.
Take a Percocet.
No, I did not. I did not take a Percocet right now. I'm going to go piss in the cup for you right now.
What did you do?
Right now. It was the Orgel. There was even Orgel in that freaking bathroom thing. There's one that's empty, which is the one that I ran out of when I called to ask to see if I had more. To see if they had more. No. So I got the one from her. Now there's one in there that's empty and there's one that's not. You have to see that in that bathroom. It's in the mirror. Okay?
Yeah, she sounds like she's on like the opposite of Percocet.
Yes. Misty. Exactly where I met her at. Right there. Like where those mailboxes and stuff you got.
What's Misty's last name?
I can't recall. I worked with her over before I was born. Before I was born.
We've got to talk to Misty right now. How do you know her?
What I told me is I had her number in there. That's what I called her. I downloaded text now and tried to call that, and I called it and got through to her. So I asked her to straight up said, "Baby, you still have those mouth problems you got going on?" She said, "A big old thing right here. I can give you where she works at.
Where's she
I can at least give you that. She works at Bojangles. Bojangles on 17. On Akichi and 17. I can give you that. I don't know her last name.
White lady or black lady?
White lady. White lady? 4'11", maybe. 4'12".
How old is she?
40s. Late 60s, late 30s, early 40s.
What kind of car does she drive?
She walks, which is why I had a couple of ways to her.
What shift does she work at Bojangles?
I can't tell you that no more. They were not even open up for dinner when I was there and when I was working there, and they are now. So I can't tell you what shift she's working.
What kind of car was she driving when you met her at Bojangles?
She lives over there by Chevron or whatever. So she walked up and met me at the front of her neighborhood and gave it to me.
What other cars were there when you met her? Was it any?
There was a tan older car, almost like a cop car Ford something, or whatever, tan sitting in her driveway.
In her driveway or the driveway or at the Chevron?
No, like when I pulled up, I could see like where she lived at. You could see her walk out of her driveway and walk up, and I'm pretty sure that was in her driveway of the tan car. So, but I've never seen her drive a car at all. Ever. She's always walked to work and walked home to the point that I was giving her rides because it was too hot at one point to do that. So,
When did the cereal spill?
Well, if you met with Misty, how come Misty said she ain't seen you in months?
Over a month. My friend gave me a big old bag of a whole bunch of baby cereal that she didn't have anything to do with. I put it in the car.
What type of baby cereal? Like
First.
that you put like it's like a rice consistency?
It's rice or oatmeal is what it is. And
What
it
type
was
of
a-
container was it in?
the actual container itself that comes in from the store.
What does that look like?
It's blue, and it's about this big, and it comes up like this, and that's a screw on top that pops open. Oh, whatever.
And what happened? How did it come?
2 of them that she gave me, she had just opened, and she tried it with her baby, her 9-month-old baby, and it didn't work very well with him. So she gave me those and a whole bunch of the other ones that she bought. When I put it in the car, got home, took it out, the bag ripped, it fell, it spilled. Got another bag, collected up what I could, and took it inside. I still have all that baby cereal from that day except for that one.
And just describe to me again when you came home at 10:50.
That was from leaving red.
She's got a whole food pantry there. She's got another Coke. She looks like she's got another bag of Doritos. The packet of the box of French fries is still there, and it looks like the cheeseburger remains untouched behind it. She's got like the regular damn snack truck going on over here.
And that's when you went and you robbed Quentin's hair.
I moved his hair out of his face and did this right here, and when I did, he said, and curled up. Exactly like that. Don't even like, it's like touching you and curled up.
And then when you left again, when you left to go meet Missy,
He was like 113.
did you go by and check on Quentin as you walked out the door?
Yes. Yeah, and he was fine. He was still in the same position he was in when I moved his hair.
And what door did you walk out?
The back door.
The back door? At what time?
I can't remember exactly what time I walked out. I left the house like 1:13, so I probably walked out about 1:12, 1:11, and got in the car. And I got the back door. That's where we park over. It's where the park all that, so we always only use that back door. That front door is only ever used to sit outside the smoke. Or let the kids play in the front yard.
Have you ever left your house without your phone before?
Without my phone? No, I always have my phone on me.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere I go, work, home, even if it's dead, I have it on me. Always. You know, I do fail to charge it all the time, but I normally,
At any point last night, did your phone go dead and you didn't have a charge?
my phone was on at all times last night. It was even plugged in next to the bed when I did lay down. When I did get in the cars, the phone's out 2 or 3 or 4%, so I did plug it in. If it wasn't plugged in, it would have died, and my trip both times would have ended. You know, before I even got home, y'all would have seen the time that I arrived home if it didn't stay on.
Do you normally meet Red out there at the office area?
In that
Excuse me.
general area, normally it's ride share that we got ride share across, but I have a lot of people there in North Spurgeon or Rover.
Where or who like coordinates with Brent?
But
You or Danny? Or like who talks to Brent?
honestly, it's got multiple different numbers. So like we message or we call one, or I'll get in contact with like his cousin. His name's Craig or whatever, and ask. Cause he never has the same phone.
Is it Craig?
Yeah, I got contact with Craig and I'll ask him, but that's just because they live on the same property.
Where they live in?
For our straight lane.
Wait.
It's right after the ride shares. Like one of the first driveways after the ride share on the left hand side. One of the very first driveways.
Was it just Red and Craig there?
She just read in the crackhead. What did she say?
That's none of my business. That's the whole of the property.
This woman's emotions
Is
change
it just you that kind of deals with it?
every
Or
6
does
seconds.
Danny
And we both did.
too? That too.
We both did. Just whoever decides to go, if we do decide to go.
They both deal the same thing.
Damn, the man says, how does she find time to dump the body? Seems like she was running around like a headless chicken. She was running around to dump the body. She never went to the convenience store to pick up Oragel. She said she went to this stupid place they have her on camera throwing shit in the dumpster. The reason she was running around throwing her baby's body in a dumpster. She's lying about the other places she was running around to.
And we'll do the same thing. They don't even do nothing more than that. That's just what they do. They get old pills and get old weed.
How long a time, or minutes, seconds did you interact with Mitzi?
Missy, she walked up. I said, "Hey girl, how you doing?" She said, "I'm good." And she was like, "How's your mouth?" I said, "Good, good." She was taking her out, but it's hurting like hell. And she was like, "Here you go." So that was literally like probably a 2-minute conversation, and then she went home. And I got in the car and went off.
Did the ordeal give you early?
Really to lay down long enough to fall asleep. When I woke up, my mouth was still hurting like hell, but it stayed down back here. The way that I did it with a cotton ball and putting the Oragel on it, and then it's kind of lying down. It stayed down long enough for me.
Cotton ball, Oragel, cocaine, Percocet. Pain went away.
I have taken Percocets in a long time, and orange out outside the middle of it, call it up, put it in my mouth, bit on it. When I bit on it, my saliva going in it, made the orange gel come out, and stay in this juvenile area, which allowed my mouth to get numb enough to let go and go sleep.
All right, I've stopped the playback.
Oh, thank you.
at,
Thank you very much.
13 minutes and 47 seconds after midnight on October 6th.
Midnight. Wow, they were
Of
questioning her
2022.
late. But thank you for stopping the. Oh, she looks kind of upset by this. Oh, dang it! She makes me sad if she has a sad face.
Now, you mentioned that you did go through the defendant's phone that day
I did.
manually. You talked about just thumbing through the actual phone itself.
Yes.
Did you look at the Cellbrite extraction that day, or was it just manual?
Jem asks, "Is this blonde cop in the court?" Yeah, she's the one on the witness stand. Yeah, she's the witness. She's the lead detective. That's her. Yep. Exactly, Flux. Don't make the pretty girl sad. Yeah, so that she's the lead detective. That was her conducting the questioning.
For me, it was just manual.
Did you look in her text messages with Danny Youngkin?
Yes.
And in those text
Sebastian, of
messages,
course,
did you
the
see
former.
anything that was notable to you in terms of unsent messages?
I did.
Can you tell us about that?
There was a drafted message at the bottom that said getting Oragel
When
or
you
headed to get Oragel.
headed getting Oragel or headed to get Oragel?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me for interrupting you. When you say a drafted text message at the bottom, can you just walk us through? I mean, I think everybody probably has cell phone.
Sure.
Can you walk us through very as clearly as you can what you mean?
Yeah, when you go to text somebody on your phone, you hit the little bubble at the bottom, type what you need to, but you have to send before it actually goes to that person. This was just the draft before she sent it to Daniel.
Just in the box where you type, but you're not hit send yet.
Yes.
Send yet. Okay. On this day, was the defendant kept in the room the entire time?
No.
Was she allowed to go out and smoke?
Yes,
Did that happen multiple times?
it did.
And in fact, on one occasion, did she just show herself out to smoke and walk out?
Yes,
Was she provided with food
several times.
and water?
Yes.
Now, at what point in the day, I guess it's now we're on the morning of the 6th, right?
Yes.
At what point did y'all decide it was time to wrap up and get some sleep?
Well, we had finished at her residence, and shortly after this interview, we arranged transport for the whole family to return to the residence.
Okay, so did the three who were there in the police station that day go back to the house?
They did.
And did you stay there working, or did you go home and get some sleep, or what?
I stayed there for a little while and went home for a little while.
Now, I want to talk to you about the following days. Was there an effort made to follow up on the Misty Oragel story?
Yes.
And who was responsible for following up on the Misty aspect of that story?
Yes. For Misty, it was Special Agent Snyder.
And when did that happen? I mean, he'll testify about it, but when did it happen?
The following day.
Was there an effort to follow up on Danny's whereabouts on the morning of October 5th?
Yes.
And who was tasked with following up on that?
That was Detective Noble and Special Agent
So
Sullivan.
Danny is her boyfriend, fiance.
And was there some follow-up on Paul and when he had gotten home and so forth?
Yes.
And who was responsible for that?
Detective Noble and Agent Solomon.
Did they go out to to the warehouse and get timesheets and some video.
Yes, the warehouse where everyone worked.
And there was some mention in these interviews of Henry Bubba Moss Jr.
Correct.
And we heard yesterday from 2 FBI agents that were involved in that follow-up
Yes.
from the Augusta FBI office.
Yes.
Now, at some point, did somebody obtain Henry Bubba Moss Jr.'s phone records?
Yes.
And who was that?
I believe we got the phone number from Special Agent Osden, and then we obtained the phone records afterwards.
And was that Detective Wilkins who got Henry Moss's phone records
I believe so, yes.
and relayed them to you?
Yes.
Now, was there follow-up on the vehicle, the Dodge Journey?
There was.
And what did that involve?
A search warrant was applied for and executed on the vehicle where we examined the inside, the outside, and then we also did what's called an infotainment search warrant.
And what is an infotainment search warrant?
So the electrical box that's in your vehicle, that stores data. So what we do, it's called an infotainment search, and we're just seeing what kind of data is stored in that electrical system.
And what kind of data can you get from those from some vehicles?
From some vehicles, you can get as meticulous as every time a door opened or a light turned on. Others, we don't get anything.
And you as the investigative team tried to do that in this case?
We did.
Was that effort successful?
It was not.
Why not?
That make and model did not have the data in that system.
Okay. But you tried.
We did.
Now, one thing on the vehicle I'd like to ask you about. We heard some testimony from Officer Schenker at cross-examination about a potential spot of blood on the driver's seat.
Yes.
And we also heard him testify that he provided all of his pictures that he took that day to you.
Yes, everyone was in constant contact with each other.
I'd like to approach with what I've marked as State's Exhibit 84. And how many pages is that?
It is 2 pages and 4 photographs.
2 pages and 4 photographs?
Yes.
Front and back?
They are.
She's got some sort of snack in her mouth. She's
Okay.
working on something.
Correct.
It's on page 1, it's the same picture on the front and back.
Oh, yes.
Same for page 2.
Yes,
You recognize those images?
I do.
What are they?
It is the front seat of the Dodge Journey, one with plain light and the second with the alternative light.
Is that the blue star that Officer Schenker was talking about?
Yes,
Where you can see the spots lighting up a little bit?
correct.
Okay. And is the first picture, can you see the little spots in there as well?
That may be the spots right in the center, but it's not like an apparent red or anything like that.
Okay. Your Honor, I would introduce this as State's Exhibit 84.
No objection, Your Honor.
What is 84? Is it this?
And I'll publish this in the journal.
Racing down the street here. Well, while he's fumbling through that, I'll be right back. I gotta take about 15 steps. I'll be right back.
All right. On the screen here, are we seeing the first picture in that exhibit?
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna zoom in here.
I hope that's blood, not because that could be a
What do you
lot of
see
other
there?
things right there on that
Uh,
part of the seat.
3 small dots.
Do they appear on their face to be blood to you?
No, they don't.
Can you tell whether they're fresh or old?
No, it's not. It doesn't look like fresh blood.
Moving to the next image. What are we looking at here?
It is those same 3 dots under the blue star.
Oh, so it is
Now, you were aware of
likely
this during the
biological
investigation.
material.
I was.
Blah,
Did you view it as significant?
No,
blah.
Is in an investigation, does every item that you collect or every observation that you or somebody on the team makes turn out to be important?
it does not.
Can you explain what you mean?
Especially in this type of investigation, but really any, you start as broad as possible, collect as much as possible, and look at every single thing you can. And then you start to realize what's important, what's not. And this is one of those that we did not deem important in our investigation.
Let me ask you a question, sort of for example, about electronic devices. How many phones are we going to be talking about in this case?
Of significance, 3.
Okay. How many electronics did y'all seize from the house in the course of the search warrant there?
Probably over 15.
Old computers, old phones, things
Thumb
like that?
drives, CDs.
And we have about like 37 people on our witness list.
Yes,
How many people were interviewed in the course of this investigation?
well over 100.
And
That's a lot of people.
I think
Seriously.
we introduced 100 some images that Officer Schenker took of the residence on
Yes.
September 5th. And how many did he take total?
I believe it was almost 400.
Were some of them in the RV under the carport?
Yeah.
Any reason? to
Yeah,
think the
thankfully we
RV
didn't have to
has
see all
anything relevant to
415
the
pictures, I believe it
No.
was.
Were some of them in Billy Joe Howell and Thomas Howell's master bedroom?
Yes.
Any reason to think that that room has any relevance to the investigation?
No.
How long do you think it would take to try this case if we were to call every person that you all interviewed and introduce into evidence every picture?
Oh God, it'd take forever.
Collected at the broad stage of the investigation early on.
Including the canvas that Special Agent Austin provided, months.
Now, one more question in reference to the driver's seat and little spots. I have to ask you this. On October 5th, at headquarters, you interacted with the defendant.
Yes.
Was she menstruating that day?
Oh
She
God.
mentioned that she was, yes.
And did she have to go to the bathroom a couple of times to apply feminine hygiene products?
Yes.
Thank you.
TMI. Chalk that well up on the list of things that I really didn't need to know. Ugh.
Was there a follow-up with these 3 cell phones that you all had taken that day?
Specifically Leilani's.
Can you tell me about that?
So at Chatham County Police Department, our system's called Celebrate that does the forensic extraction we talked about. Savannah Police Department, though, has a system that can do a deeper dive into the phone. It's called Gray Key.
And what happened in reference to the defendant's phone?
Detective Cox reached out to Savannah Police, and they did a Gray Key extraction of her cell phone.
And did that have something to do with the fact that it was an iPhone?
I believe so. iPhones like to be difficult.
Now, was there a follow-up done in reference to the Chevron/Azalea issue?
There was, yes.
Can you tell us, generally speaking, about that?
Yes, we went out and looked for video footage in that area.
See, Winterstorm, you get 5 minutes in the penalty box for instigating for that one. That is not funny. Don't ever do that again.
The Chevron gas station as well as Azalea mobile home park both had cameras.
And when you say we went out, were you involved in that?
I was.
And what day was that?
That was on the 6th, the following day.
Okay. So you were involved in the video canvas in that area.
Correct.
Were you there when they collected the footage that day?
I was not.
And was there follow-up in reference to the dumpsters and garbage trucks and ultimately the landfill?
Yes.
And who was the point person for that?
That would be Detective Noble.
Now, we heard some testimony yesterday from Special Agent Austin about the involvement of the CARD team. Can you remind us of what that acronym stands for?
Yes, it's the Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, and we asked him to come down and assist.
Now, were you the lead detective for the Chatham County Police Department at this point?
Yes,
And who was the lead for the FBI?
Agent Brad Snyder.
Did the two of you work directly with the CARD team?
We did.
And can you tell us about what that involved?
We wanted as much information and as many resources as the CARD team could give us. One of those things was a template for a canvas that our team did.
And what did the canvas operation look like? Where did y'all do those things?
So canvassing, easily broken down, was just knocking on every single person's door.
Knocking on.
We did
person's door.
Buckhalter Road, Garrard Avenue, into Azalea, as well as I-95 and Highway 204 area.
And what was the manpower requirement involved in this thing, this canvas operation?
We broke out into 3 teams, those 3 separate locations. Each team probably had roughly 30 law enforcement officers.
And how many teams now?
3,
3 teams?
so around 90.
Okay. And how many days did this canvas operation take?
I believe it took 2 days.
And did each encounter involve filling out a questionnaire?
It did,
And those are questionnaires Special Agent Austin talked about.
yes.
And did they help you tailor those for this case?
Yes, he did.
I'd like to approach with an object that I do not intend to introduce for the evidence, but I would like to just talk about it a little bit. And just to make the record clear on what this is, what is this here? What are we looking at?
This is binder 4 of my case file. It is the template canvas sheets that were filled out.
What size binder is that?
It is a 5-inch binder.
And roughly how many pages of interview form canvas questionnaires are in there?
700.
Did you guys also set up a tip line?
We did.
What is a tip line?
So we just used a extra cell phone, and we put up a voicemail advising people to call this number, or excuse me, we put about a notice advising people to call this number if they had any information on Quentin Simon's disappearance. And then a voicemail was set up asking whoever was calling to give us as much information, and we would call back if it was something to follow up on.
Was that something that was done on the advice of the CARD team
Yes,
as part of the best practices in investigating a child disappearance? and
Yes.
Possible abduction?
yes.
Tell me about the manpower involved in responding to tip line calls.
One of the detectives at all times was assigned to the phone and to follow up on each one of the voicemails that was left, to review them to see whether or not they needed additional follow-up.
Does the Chatham County Police Department have a dive team?
We do, yes.
Was the dive team involved in on October 5th, 2022, or the days following?
Yes.
What is the dive team?
So it's, I think it's in connection with Marine Patrol, but it's scuba divers who have the proper qualifications and do search and rescue.
And did the dive team do anything in this investigation?
Yes, they did.
Can you tell us about those things?
Yes, behind the residence is a in-ground pool that had a layer of algae on it, and standing above it, you aren't able to see inside. So the dive team went in and made sure there was nothing inside the pool. As well as during our canvas, there's several ponds in the area, and they made sure to look through those as well.
If you have a pool, no one should ever use the term layer of algae to describe it.
I think you've already said that you did receive the defendant's cell right extraction from Sergeant Coleman of the forensics unit.
Yes,
And did you review the extraction of her phone?
yes,
And did you find any evidence in her phone revealing anything about the state of her relationship with Danny Youngkin in the days, weeks, months leading up to October 4th?
yes.
Can you describe that to us in broad terms, please?
Through their text messages, it was pretty apparent what kind of relationship they had.
Anything other than text messages?
There was some concerning web searches as well.
Any videos?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
There was a clip that was recorded on August 6th of 2022 where Leilani was blaming Daniel basically for the suicide that she was about to go commit.
Now,
One of the few times I will say,
you prepared a couple of
unfortunately, she did it.
exhibits, capturing the things that you just described.
Yes,
Do you see in front of you an exhibit marked as States 18?
I do.
Can you tell us what this is?
It is a series of text messages between Leilani and Daniel.
And were those pulled from the cell right extraction performed by Sergeant Coleman?
They are, yes.
Do you see a disc marked as States Exhibit 19?
I do.
What is that?
I believe it is the suicide video.
The video that you just described.
Yes,
And do you see in front of you a document marked as States Exhibit 20?
I do.
And what is that?
It is a web search that was found on her cell phone.
You are introduce these items in as States 18, 19, and 20.
With regard to 18, Judge, no objection. No objection as to 19. No objection as to the, I think, the photograph. And no objection as to number 20, which is.
Okay, so states exhibits 18, 19, and 20 are admitted without objection.
Your Honor, at this time, I'll publish States Exhibit 18. And may I have a seat?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have to watch that video again? Her in the car? I hope not.
It's just 18.
Nope,
And
text
what I-
messages.
Slide 1 of States Exhibit 18. And what I'd like to do with this exhibit is just have you tell us the date of the message and read the message. Okay?
Whoever does the color contrast for this exhibit needs to be horsewhipped. In what realm of the universe is this a good color combination? Idiot. Try black and white, maybe dark blue and white. But neon green and bright white? Yeah, come on, pal. Or ma'am, whoever did this. can't read a damn thing. We'll just have to listen to it.
So this was sent on 7/12/22. It says, I want to feel beautiful, not barely average. I want to feel loved, not just liked. I want to feel wanted, not just tolerated. I want to be able to look at you and know it's just me, not wondering how many others there are. I want to feel like my body is worth showing off, not like it's just been trashed from having 3 kids. I want to feel the way you made me feel in the beginning, like I'm treasured and safe, not like I'm just here because you really don't have a choice.
Well, stop fucking the drug dealer then.
Slide 2.
Sent on 7/15/22. And I damn sure ain't the reason why you talk to other bitches in the first goddamn place or you put your dick in to begin with.
Slide 3.
On
Charming.
8/6/22. Yeah, go get yourself some ass. I know mine is good enough. Never was, never will be.
Now,
She is
the
self-aware. We'll
video
give her
that's
that.
been introduced into evidence is States Exhibit 19. When was
Self-awareness
this
is always
video?
important.
Were you able to tell when the video was filmed?
Yes, we were.
Okay. What was the date that video was filmed?
On August 6th.
At this time, I will publish States Exhibit 19.
Yep, we got to sit through this video again. This totally authentic, I'm really depressed and I'm going to end my life video.
This guy, his name, and Quentin. Mama tried.
Rotate.
Your mama's not here no more because she doesn't want you. I do. I can't love myself. If I can love myself, how can I love y'all? I have tried over and over and over and I failed. I screamed for help and I don't get it. This guy, you are such a beautiful little girl. I wish I could watch you grow up. I wish I could hold you for your first heartbreak because my mama didn't. Sky, I love you, baby girl. And Zane, you were so handsome, so sweet, so protective. You were gonna be such a good man one day. Just a good man. I hope you grow up and you learn what loyalty is. And you learn how to treat a woman and how to love a woman. And Quentin, baby, you are a middle child. You're so happy all the time. You smile all the time. I wish I could see what kind of man you would be too. And Maggie, I loved you. I loved you with all of me, all of my heart. I loved you. I worshiped the ground you walked on. When we found each other, we were both in such fragile states. And I built you back up. I would do anything for you.
Oh, this is a long time before the
This
murder.
time that I was building you back up,
Yeah, this is way before the murder.
you were doing things that would eventually tear me back down.
Unlimited data, Wi-Fi was included, and a free streaming box.
And even now, after everything that I think has been brought to light, hopefully it was everything, right? Even now, You look at me with the same look in your eyes that you have when you talk about Caitlin. I don't hear the love in your voice anymore. I don't feel the love in your touch anymore. And I definitely don't see the love in
Jim, she's
your
talking
eyes
about her
anymore.
husband not having sex with her anymore. She's
You
mad at
really
him,
love
so
me,
she's gonna
like
kill
you
herself.
raved. Even you wouldn't have done all that. Even when I was carrying your child and hating myself every fucking day, crying myself to sleep every fucking night because you did not want to have sex with me. You did not want to love me. You just did not want me. And I wanted you. I wanted you. I wanted you more than life itself. But you proved that it was only one way. That feeling was only one way. That love, that loyalty, it was all one way. You take care of my kids, okay? You couldn't take care of me. You couldn't love me. You couldn't do me right. So please, for the love of fucking God, do my kids right. And I can't do it down at the river now. Bye, Daddy.
All right, moving back to State's Exhibit 18, slide 3. So is it the case that that message on slide 3 was sent the same day that video was filmed?
Yes.
Slide 4.
This is on August 22nd in 2022. There's no being past it when you have done nothing to make me feel better about myself, when you have done nothing to make me feel like you still want me like you did before, so stop.
Slide 5.
This is on September 9th. Hope you had fun with whatever bitch you met up with.
Slide 6.
Also September 9th. You can take everybody else's feelings into consideration, but you don't take mine. You can hang out with everybody else, but you don't want to hang out with me when I want you to.
Can you really blame him?
Slide 7.
September 9th. I really fucking wish I never drove to North Carolina to meet you. That was the biggest mistake I could have ever made.
Slide 8.
September 9th. No matter how much I stress how I'm feeling, you don't give a shit. No matter how much I scream and cry, you don't change nothing. You say doing the same thing or being even more distant or hanging out with anybody but me.
Slide 9.
September 10th. You're the reason I'm angry every day. You're the reason I'm depressed, why I feel the way I do about myself.
Slide 10.
September 10th. When I was pregnant and moved down here for my kids, you chose other women or porn to satisfy you, not me.
Slide 11.
September 10th. When I need reassurance, you continue to change password to hide phones to have it on silent.
Slide 12.
These are both on September 17th, and they are requesting for Daniel to join Life 360.
So that text in the box.
She wants his
would that be
passwords.
text
She
that
wants
she
his cell
typed
phone. He
or
wants
more
the
like a link
message
that she's
alerts to be on audio. Wants to track him with Life 360.
requesting that he
Good
do
God.
what now? Reading those first few words.
Join my Life 360 circle.
Can you tell us how far apart these two invitations were in time?
24 minutes.
Slide 13. This one is exceedingly difficult to make out on the screen. So can you walk us through what slide 13 is?
So these are both on 9/18. Excuse me, all four of these are on 9/18, and they're all the same hyperlink sent to Daniel.
Separately?
Yes.
Slide 14.
That was my junior prom theme song.
Sent on
Dave.
September 21st. I'm tired of begging for sexual attention.
Slide 15.
Sent on September 21st. I'm not good enough to fuck. Not good enough to even try to fuck.
Slide 16.
Excuse me?
Both sent on September 21st. No, I don't feel amazing. I feel like I'm a girlfriend that you got to hide your shit around because you don't want me to know what the fuck you're up to. I feel like I'm just the person that you keep around because you're comfortable with me, not because you want me. I'm tired of feeling like I'm sexually worthless.
Slide 17.
On September 21st. No, I don't know you love me. I know you're comfortable with me. I know you're used to me. I know you don't want me to love anybody else, but I do not think you love me because you do not want to have sex with me. You do not want to spend time with me if you do not want to do anything with me anymore.
Now, slide 18, this one looks different from all the other ones, right?
Yes,
Was this one, in fact, taken from Danny's phone?
yes,
But is it from the defendant?
it is.
And can we tell that because of the phone number and the way he has her saved?
Yes,
All right, and he had her saved as what?
Lonnie baby.
Now, can you read this message for us, please? Well, actually, let me ask you this. When was this one sent?
The day before Quinn's disappearance was reported,
Okay, what date and time specifically?
October 4th.
At what time of day? And look carefully before answering, please.
It's at 1:49 a.m.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a long
All
one.
right. Go ahead and read it, please.
So I fell asleep on the couch for a minute after I came back in. Woke up because Sky was starting to fuss. So I made her a bottle, right? Then as soon as I'm about to crawl into bed with you, I hear my phone go off. So I go to check it, and it was like 360 saying, ask Daniel to charge his phone. So when I opened the app and saw that your phone was at 1%, I won't lie, it made me start to think again. And there is a possibility that I'm just overthinking. But here are what my thoughts were. He knows we got to work in the morning. He was just on his phone literally right before he laid down. Why didn't he plug it in? Well, he said he wanted me to be nice, so I guess I'll plug it in for him. My dumbass literally grabbed the charger and then went to grab your phone. But guess what? What happened when I got to that point, Danny? I couldn't find your phone. I don't understand how you expect me to believe when you say I'm not doing anything wrong or I don't have anything to hide, when one, you never let me look at your phone without a fight, even when I offer mine in exchange. Two, you always 24/7 keep your phone on you when you're awake and hide it when you're asleep. And three, never leave it around me at all. SMH. Even when we have work and your phone is almost dead, when it's time to lay down, you still choose to risk it, possibly dying and us missing work. All because what? Because to me, it's because you have something to hide. Because why else would anyone do anything? Because why else would anyone do the things you do if they weren't hiding something?
Do you know what SMH means?
Shake my head.
And so this would have been in the middle of the night
Someday they won't have to explain that to jurors.
before the morning of the trip to the dentist.
Yes.
She's playing hangman with her lawyer.
Was there an effort made to follow up on what exactly happened at the dentist?
Yes.
Do you see in front of you a document marked as State's Exhibit 21?
Yes.
What is that?
The top page is a certification of medical records from Aspen Dental. And then the following pages are the medical records from LEILANI Simon's dental work.
Specifically the dental work on the morning of October 5th.
Yes.
Your Honor, I would offer these in as State's Exhibit 21.
This is, exhibit 21, Mr. Hilliard, any objection?
No objection, Judge. It has an affidavit in business record.
All right, thank you. 21, is exhibit, is admitted without objection.
And we don't need to belabor this, but do these records show that she did in fact have a tooth pulled that morning?
Yes.
Now, during this investigation, did you follow up with Michelle McCarty?
I did.
And did you conduct interviews with her?
Yes, I did.
Did you conduct an interview with her daughter, Talia McCarty?
Yes, I did.
And did you conduct some follow-up on Quentin himself?
Yes, I did.
Did you obtain his past medical records?
Yes,
And is this a normal step in a child death case?
it is.
Where did you yourself get medical records from?
The 2 search warrants I did were from the local pediatrics office. Well, locals in Georgia.
What was your goal in getting his medical records? To get some of them, to get all of them, what?
All of them.
Do you see in front of you a document marked as States Exhibit 27?
Yes,
And do you recognize that document?
I do.
What is it?
It is a search warrant order for medical specialists in Waynesboro, Georgia.
What type of practice is that?
I believe it's a pediatric medical facility.
And how did you know to go there for Quentin's medical records?
I believe it was in interviews with LEILANI, the family, as well as Billy Joe.
That's a past pediatrics clinic that he had been seen at.
Yes,
And did you send that search warrant to that practice?
yes,
And did they turn around to you his pediatric records from there?
yes, they did.
Your Honor, I would introduce this as States Exhibit 27.
No objection.
Admitted.
Now, what is States Exhibit 28?
It is a order, an additional search warrant for some more medical records.
From what practice?
It is the J.C. Lewis Primary Health Care here in Savannah.
I thought J.C. Lewis was a car dealership. Is that not the case? Or?
I guess they have several buildings.
Okay. So they have a pediatrics clinic or indigent care clinic or something? like
Yes,
that? Okay. It was at Quentin's last pediatrician.
to my knowledge, yes.
Did you send them this search warrant?
I did.
And did they turn around his pediatrics records to you?
Yes, they did.
Your Honor, I would introduce this in States Exhibit 28.
No objection.
Did any other detectives involved in this case get additional medical records for him at your direction?
Yes,
And who was that?
Detective Cox.
And did she provide the records that she obtained to you?
Yes, she did.
Did you incorporate all of the medical records you got into your case file?
Yes, I did.
And did you turn them over to
How did we get?
Howard
Oh,
Yes, I did.
so that they would be turned?
I was
over?
wondering why they were talking so slow.
Yes.
We didn't get on 1.25
Now,
speed when we
Do you see
switched
in
on
front of
over
you
here to
a
the
document
TV.
marked
Damn it!
as States Exhibit 23?
There we go.
Yes,
Shit.
Do you recognize that document?
yes, I do.
What is that?
It is a search warrant sent to Verizon.
And what number is it for?
It is for 912-547-5275.
Whose phone number is that?
LEILANI Simon's.
Did you send that search warrant to Verizon?
Yes, I did.
This is a search warrant you prepared?
Yes,
And did Verizon turn responsive records around to you?
yes,
They gave you her phone records?
yes.
Do you see a disc labeled States Exhibit 24?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
It is the response I received from Verizon containing LEILANI Simon's cell phone records.
Did Detective Cox also get some cell phone records in this case?
Yes,
Did she provide all the cell phone records that she got to you?
yes, she did.
And did she obtain records from Life 360 directly?
Yes,
And did she provide those to you?
yes, she did.
Were all of the phone records obtained in this case and the Life 360 records provided to the FBI for analysis?
Yes, they were.
And were the cell phone extractions, both the 3 cell write extractions and the 1 gray key extraction, were those provided to the FBI for analysis?
Yes,
I would introduce states 23 and 24 into evidence, Your Honor.
Your Honor, with regards to states 23, subject to the court's ruling regarding some of those text messages, we don't have any other objection other than that. What was 24 again? let me reverse that. As to 23, no objection to the search warrant, Judge. As to 24, no objection, subject to the court's ruling on those text messages. So,
All right, thank you. 23 is admitted, 24 is admitted subject to the earlier ruling.
Do you see in front of you?
All right, before he answers, just take a quick, little later than midstream grift here, just to say hi to all of you that have been coming in. With this is day 3 of the LEILANI Simon trial. There's 9 days in this. She is charged with 19 different crimes associated with the death of her 20-month-old child. She's facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. Sentencing is coming up in the future, I believe, because we don't know for the, well, some of you may know how this turns out, but we don't know what the verdict is, but we all know what the verdict's gonna be. You know, if she doesn't get convicted, well, just to make this clear, this has already happened. This trial is already over. I've just avoided watching the outcome and paying attention to the outcome, and some people in chat here have too. But we really know how it's going to end, don't we? So let's see how all this goes. We've currently got 267 people here and 211 likes. So please do me a favor and smash that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, because YouTube is asshole, and I would definitely love your subscription. And for those of you that are subscribed, just please double check to make sure you still are. And our like and subscribe poll, simple one. What do you think about time changes? It's the whole purpose of this poll is just to remind you to do those YouTubey things, liking and subscribing. So far, only 12%. Like, it's the very last answer. 6 months of vices is in a weird time. That's what you think about the changes. Well, 21% of you say you hate it for a bit, but then you forget about it. 33% of you say you just roll with the punches, and 34% of you say you hate it always. And we'll see how that ends up at the end of the day. Let's see, no super chats or anything like that to read. So sad face. Right, let's jump back into it. Shall we? I think we should. Let me pull up the screen and go.
Document marked as States Exhibit 25.
Yes,
What is that?
it is a emergency situation disclosure from Verizon. It's a form they had us fill out.
Okay. And what was that form for?
It is for cell phone records.
What's the area code that you were looking for records for?
It is 706 area code.
All right. And whose phone number is that? All
Henry Moss.
right. What's the full number?
It is 706-526-1978.
And who sent this to Verizon?
Detective Wilkins.
Okay. And did he receive responsive records and provide them to you?
Yes, he did.
Do you see in front of you a disc marked as States Exhibit 25? I'm sorry, 26.
Yes, 26.
And if you don't, just tell me.
I have 26.
What is that?
It is a response from Verizon for that phone number.
Well, as long as we're going to pause here, we need to give a super special ship's bell. Thank you so much to Amil. Thank you so much for gifting 5 Legal Vices membership on the quest to remove the gray from the chat and make everybody eligible green. If you got one of these 5 Legal Vices memberships, which would be whom? Lone Star X, Old Buck 63, Sandra Morrow, Jennifer Miller, Gobbledygook got him mad. Make sure you give him a super special thanks. Amil, thank you very much for sharing the love with the chat and giving us a little boost in the numbers today. All right, let's go. I'm going to be sad when she gets off the stand. She's been nice to look at for the past few days. And she's smart, she's intelligent, she's caring. Good for her. All right. Shall we get on with it? Let's go.
Your Honor, I would offer 25 and 26 of the evidence at this time.
no objection to 25 and 26, Judge.
Thank you. 25 and 26 are admitted.
Have I formally offered?
Thank you again, Amil.
Madam Clerk has,
Yes, ma'am. I just don't remember whether I actually offered it or not. Instead of, thank you.
Hey, Purple Rain, what's up?
Now, You testified about the fact that Special Agent Snyder went out and talked to Misty, right?
Yes,
And that you all did this video canvas at Chevron and Azalea, right?
yes,
And I think you said that both of those things happened on the 6th or the 7th or something along those lines.
yes.
I know Wiggles became a new member. Thank you so much.
October 8th, did
Appreciate
the
that.
defendant come to the FBI office in Savannah for an additional interview?
Yes, you did.
And who
Super special
conducted this?
thanks. Thank you very much, Ida.
Bridget Brock.
Is she an FBI agent?
Yes, she is.
And did she come down from Quantico, Virginia for the purpose of interviewing the defendant?
Yes,
And were you present in the building for that interview?
yes, I was.
And were you watching it in real time?
Yes,
Were you in the room?
I was not in the room.
How were you watching it in real time?
Through the security camera in the room. We put it up on the monitor and watched.
Okay, so you were watching on like a live feed from a different room.
Yes,
Do you know the video recording equipment in the interview room that the defendant was in to have been working during that time period?
yes,
In fact, you yourself conducted interviews in that room with other people.
yes.
And have you reviewed the videos from those interviews?
I have, yes,
And did those interviews fairly inaccurately depict what was said between you and your subject?
yes.
Do you see in front of you a disc marked as State's Exhibit 22?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know? I'm sorry. Do you know what that is?
Bye, Phoebe.
I believe it's the interview from the October 8th interview.
Now, has that one also, as with the October 5th interviews, been redacted to some degree to comply with orders of the court?
Yes, it has.
Does it
Oh, no.
otherwise fairly inaccurate?
Do we have to listen to another Sarah, not Sarah Boone, God. Too many murderesses running around. Do you have to listen to another Leilani
Yes.
Smith interview?
Now, did Bridget Brock confront the defendant in this interview with the fact that video footage showed her not stopping at the Chevron, but rather pulling into Azalea and remaining stationary at the dumpsters for 2 minutes?
Yes, she's directly confronted with that.
And what did the defendant have to say to that?
She says that did not occur.
Did Bridget Brock tell her that Misty had been interviewed and had told the FBI that she hadn't seen the defendant that night?
Yes,
And what did the defendant have to say to that?
she says it did occur, that she did talk to Misty.
Did the earlier 204 trip also come up?
Yes,
And what did she say?
Yes. As to, of course, she said, "Oh, I talked to Misty and got the oral gel for Misty." Misty's like, "I ain't seen that bitch and talked to her in months." And Leilani's explanations for why Misty said they didn't meet was, well, she's a drug addict. She's on crack, so she wouldn't remember meeting me. Yeah, that was literally her explanation. So, yeah, make of that what you will.
Say on the 8th about what the purpose of that trip was.
to pay off a drug front for marijuana.
And is that the same story she told about it on the 5th?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time, I'm ready to publish this interview. It is, however, 12:25, and I will throw that out there before I do so.
How long approximately is the video?
I'd have to check.
Anyway.
Then
let's make
check,
it-
counselor.
So I'm going to turn to the jury. I know we started a little late this morning with taking evidence. Do you want to go through this at this point? We can go a while longer before we stop for lunch. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Why don't we continue on before we take a break? Does anyone need a comfort break at this time?
I do, Judge.
I was gonna say, I think I do too. So let's break for about 15 minutes. I think
All
we all
right.
need to stand up before we start up again. So
Time for a pee break.
just again, remember, don't discuss the case and
Live Court is on a break. We'll be right back. But hey, we're going to fast forward through all that. Ready? Are we ready for more Sarah? I keep wanting to call her Sarah Boone. Are we ready for some more Leilani Simon trial? Let's go.
all right, Ms. Simon, come back in and join your attorneys at the table. And we're back on the record. Ms. Simon is with her attorneys. All counsel are present. So we're going to move into the video that you have. And is there anything that we need to do before we bring the jury in?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Slap the
No, you're
defendant.
All right. Thank you. Please bring in the jury.
What are you munching on there, Munch Gut? No, I'm not. Chewing her cud there. I ain't prison food enough for you? But at least, oh, this dude's got an array of nice bow ties. Props to Orville Redenbacher for looking sharp. Now this guy looks like a minister. It's like it's the bow tie wars. Who wears it better? Orville Redenbacher or the preacher dude?
Thank you, Birch. All right, and everyone please have a seat. And members of the jury, were you able to comply with instructions? No
Jill
discussion
Ems, you're
about the
allowed
case
to
and no
do whatever the
research.
judge allows you to
Okay,
do
very
in
good.
court.
Mr. Dean,
When we left off, I was asking you about.
Apparently she's allowed to snack.
Which you identified as an October 8th, 2022 interview recording of the defendant's interview with FBI agent Bridget Rock, right?
Yes,
And that was conducted at the FBI office in Savannah.
yes.
Did the defendant come in willingly and voluntarily to talk to Special Agent Rock?
Yes, you did.
How was it arranged with the defendant?
I believe it was a conversation that we had on October 5th to do an additional interview later on.
And she didn't have a problem with that?
She did not know.
How did she get to the FBI office on the 8th?
One of the investigators drove her.
Okay. And was that in part at least because the car was still being held in evidence?
Yes.
And then after the interview with Bridget Rock, where did she go? The
She-
defendant, I mean, not Bridget.
Damn it.
She
Zippo's out of lighter
returned to the
fluid.
hotel
Shit.
room she had been staying at.
Good thing you have a spare.
I did.
Your Honor, this time I would introduce 22 into evidence.
Jonathan Irwin for the $2. That's what she chewing on. I don't know. Why didn't I look at her mouth? I don't know what she's chewing on. Something delectable though. She was
Before I
chewing
do that,
with
I want to circle
vigor.
back and just publish one exhibit that I neglected to publish earlier, and that's State's Exhibit 20. Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Remind us again of what that is.
It is a web search from Leilani's phone.
Lone Star living with the $5. My son started wearing bow ties at around 25 to impress girls with skills. I thought about a bow tie for a while, but then I realized I just hate being constricted by anything. Even when I wear a regular tie, I kind of keep the top button open a little bit and the tie just unfashionably loose. But I try to avoid wearing ties at all costs. But I do clean up nice in a tux well. Stop chewing on your cud there, woman. Share with it. If you don't have enough to
Right,
share
just
with the
documenting
class,
that
you don't
this
get to eat it.
Search was conducted.
Yes.
And when was it conducted?
October 1st of 2022 at 1:10 a.m.
And it says on here that the source is Safari.
Yes.
What is Safari?
An internet browser.
And can you read into the record the text of that search?
Yes. Is it common for a mother to have resentment or even anger towards her child because of the father or another reason?
Now that said, I will go back to State's Exhibit 22 and publish this.
Sometimes situations, listen to Illinois, sometimes situations happen and it's not meant, right? And people have situations that get in where, they don't know what to do and they panic, right? And the night that before Quentin disappeared, right, you had a rough day, right? Yes.
I had drugs in the business. I was living.
So you're mom of three, that's stressful, right? You had your wisdom teeth taken out, you're hurting and pain, right? You still gotta cook dinner for the kids. I understand that, you and Danny don't get along at night either, right? And sometimes people just get frustrated, right? And we do rash things, right? And things happen that we didn't mean to happen, right? And then we don't know how to deal with that, and we panic. And I know you know what happened.
I don't know.
And I know you know where Quentin is.
I don't know where he is.
Right?
I don't know where he
And
is.
here's why I know, right? Because the story that you already told, law enforcement. That you've got that story in your mind, and you've been rehearsing it quite a while. I mean, you were like silent when she told the other people, right? And we've already analyzed that. With 360, right? Your cell phone data, right? Where you've been, right? And there's inconsistencies who you talk to, right? Okay. Okay. All right. So we know you to go to the Chevron station.
That was on the like 360. It shows where I pulled it out around.
No, you didn't. But we know where you went.
It shows where I pulled it
We
out around.
know where you went. It's got video surveillance.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay. And it's not where Chevron is.
It is. The Chevron is right next to it.
Stop.
I mean, it's here. The Chevron is right next to it.
Lonnie, stop. You've gone off this story for a while now.
Yeah, good cop has left the building. Now they're like, just shut the fuck up. I'm the captain now. They're done with the good cop. Oh, you must have had a terrible time. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah, you've had terrible life. Many difficult things have happened. Are you sure everything's okay? Now they're like, bitch, we know you didn't go there. I did. This is right next. No, we know like right down to the meter where you went. We know right down to the yard where you went. We got cameras. You can't keep running with this stupid ass story that we've got video proof is absolute horseshit. All right, good on you, cops. Go get her. They're closing in now. Is it the good cop has left the building? Now it's only the pit bull lead investigator.
And I know it's not true.
It is.
Lonnie,
That's where
we're not gonna make any progress
I understand there's behind me. This is Chevron. This is Zelle. That's where I pulled into. I turned around. So we got for 12 minutes. And I bet he was in the bed when I left that house.
Lonnie, calm down. We're not getting anywhere, right? We're gonna get to the bottom of this, right? But you have to be honest.
I'm being honest.
We know through video surveillance you were not at that Chevron, but we do know where you were at.
I pulled into the Zelle. I saw her. I got him up to the orange. When I pulled around, I told her it was right next to Chevron. Not at Chevron, right next to
So
Chevron.
tell me that again. What did you just say?
She was making a reference there to what she had told you and Special Agent Snyder on the 5th, right?
Yes.
And what is she saying she had told you?
That it was right next to the Chevron
The place that she met?
that she went to. Yes,
Is that what she told you on the 5th?
it is not.
What did she tell you?
She told us that she met Misty at the Chevron, and she wrote it on her written statement.
More than once, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And that was stopped at 3 minutes into the file, which is 12:32:40 on the time.
All right. Totally irrelevant to
She met
anything
Misty
here,
at the
but
And
I
she wrote
just
it on
got
her
to
written
point out
More than once, right?
Yes.
that bonus fashion points for Mima here in the background for having hair that matches her shirt. Good for you. Good for you, Mima. Rocking that pink hair like a boss.
And that was stopped at 3 minutes into the file, which is 12:32:40 on the timestamp in the bottom left corner of the video.
Pulled in, got the orange. I turned around and went back home.
And how did you turn around?
Pulled straight around neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
The one right next to Chevron. This is Zelle. Right next to it.
Azalea? And what kind of neighborhood is that?
It's trailer park.
It's a trailer park.
Yes.
And when you were in the trailer park, you pulled right back out.
Yes. I pulled it in and I pulled it out.
Okay, so why does video surveillance show you stopping
Talking to get the orange out.
within the trailer park?
Getting the orange out.
You're not near the Chevron.
No, she lives in the Chevron. Look at her. Let me see. The one who gave me, I gave her as much information.
Well, let's talk about that, okay? Because Missy had talked to you.
Yeah, she has.
She hasn't talked to you in quite some time.
Yeah, she has.
She did not have a conversation with you about the orange out.
Yes.
So in your mind, you've looked at all these timestamps and plausibly you came up with a story that's partly true.
No, that is true.
But there's very, very many missing pieces, right? And in your story, you haven't been completely honest about where you were at and why you were there.
I was 100% honest about where I was at. I showed her like 360. I told her I even gave her the orange out that she gave me.
Right, and that didn't happen. We've already interviewed this.
I got the orange out. That did happen. She did unload them inside her mouth. That's the reason why I asked her for it.
You have to stop saying this. It did not happen.
Yes, it did.
Right? And Lonnie, right? To get through this, you're gonna have to talk about what happened.
Yeah, she ain't gonna believe you no matter how many times you say it.
I didn't take him anywhere.
Okay?
I didn't take him anywhere. He was at the house. He was in that bed with his hair out the same round in the bed. The only thing I was sitting there possibly when I was when I came back in, I heard smoking a cigarette. I may not have shut that door all the way. And that's how I made me advise the player. That's the only thing I could question myself about. I was looking at drugs in my system. I couldn't even feel my mouth. So I don't know if I locked that door and pushed it all the way in.
like you would never hurt or harm Quentin.
No, I wouldn't.
And in this circumstance, something happened,
No,
right?
no, I did not. Nothing happened when he was in my care. I did not hurt him. I did not take him anywhere. I went in there with that baby in that bed like I wasn't born. Okay?
Okay.
I am devastated. I've seen him being questioned. Last night, my own husband was questioning me, making me question myself. Well, did you shut that door? Are you sure enough reason that something that happened? I didn't do stuff like that.
Well, you keep telling yourself the story over and over. We're done with that story, right? And you can keep trying to convince yourself, but the evidence does not point to that, right? You try to put a timeline together to cover up.
I didn't try to know together. I had
What
to
happened
practice
that
that.
night, and you're the only one that can tell us what happened.
And you said everything, and I know, like, I didn't even listen to him, and he was shaking me.
Leilani, listen to me. You told me how you felt when you and your mom were abandoned on the side of the road. Right?
I was scared.
Right? So as a mother, look, we just want to find Quentin.
Yes,
Right?
we do. We all do. I've been asking help searching everything.
And they have been. They're still out there searching, right? But you can help us find him. Right? I 100% believe that. You can help us find
He
him.
was in the bed with my custody.
So when you left and you drove through the trailer park and you stopped for a while,
I just stopped for a while.
what was going through your mind?
Let's go through mine, get the seat, get the words up. I did speak to her, and I did get words up.
So you did not talk to Missy.
Yes, I did.
We've already talked about that.
I spoke to Missy.
And until you start being 100% honest with me, you're going down the same road. Okay? We're not getting it.
We've moved past you we've moved past you talking to Misty. We know that didn't happen. Let's not talk about that again because we know you're full of crap. We know you stopped for a while in the trailer park because we got you on video. They haven't dropped the video bomb on her yet, I think. They just know she's there. Dang. This woman. And it must be so frustrating to be a cop, to know you've got a murderer sitting right in front of you who has murdered a 20-month-old child, and they're still feeding you full of this shit. I would be the bad cop quite easily. It'd be difficult to be the good cop. But here, like I said, they're in the confrontation phase here. The good cop, bad cop is out the window. They're just bad cop. Brr, get him. Get her. Get her.
You said you wanted to be home.
I do. That's why I've done everything I can, and I don't know where my baby is. Okay, I don't know.
Right? So
I did not hurt him, but I don't know where he's at. He was in that bed when I woke up.
So, what we do know is that when you pulled into the trailer park, you stopped. Right? I can't imagine what was going through your mind at that time, right? Where
No
you
idea.
were trying to make a decision.
No, I stopped for, I was on the house for a total of 12 minutes. I stopped for 2 minutes. I was getting the word. I was from her,
Right?
pulled around, and there she was.
You didn't see Misty.
Yes, I did.
You stopped for 2 minutes, so in that 2 minutes, you weren't getting more jail for Misty.
Yes.
I know you were sitting there thinking about what you're gonna do with Quentin.
No, I was not.
Something had already happened.
No, it was not. That baby was in that bed when I went to bed. See, I seen him when he left to go to work. Okay? So no, he was home. He was in that bed. He was asleep.
Right? And we both know that's not true.
He is true. He was home. He was even daddy. Even he said he's seen him before he went to work. So I don't see how that's not true. Or have I done something to him? What? Something in the morning? That's literally physically impossible when he was seen that morning.
Right?
Understand?
Right.
I don't know for my baby.
So Danny told us that he can't 100% confirm that he actually saw Quentin in the crib that morning.
So he told me that he 100% said he's seen him.
He told us that he cannot say that. Right?
He was in
And,
that bed.
and that's different than the first time, right? No, you guys talked to police because you put that in your statement.
Yeah, so that he told me 100% that he's seen him that morning.
He cannot 100% say that he saw Quentin that morning. And so that leaves another hole in your story, right?
No, that's what he told me. And he got a bike on him. I'm screaming and yelling, where's my baby?
I'm telling
Where's
you
my
right now,
baby?
that's not the case. Because we know that you know what happened.
I do not know what happened.
Well, you do,
I don't.
right?
I don't know where he is. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where the fuck he would be gone. He was in the bed when I went to sleep. And when I got up to his side, I was screaming, yelling, crying, baby, you're sitting out.
As many times as you repeat that story, it doesn't make it true.
But it is true.
It's not true.
But it's not.
Talk about how much you love your
I
kids.
do. I love them all, but it's true.
And you want to help us find Quentin.
Yes.
And you can do that,
And I'm trying.
right?
I'm trying to find my phone, just trying to discover it because I haven't. I do not know where my baby is. And I wish I did to be right here.
Right.
You really would.
And if you
And
really,
I'm getting angry right now because I did not do anything with my child.
you really want to help us find Quentin, Where is that?
I've told y'all everything. Y'all
I need that.
I'm serious. I'm keeping it because I told y'all everything. I even gave y'all the only thing I had to track every single place that I've gone to. Every single place. For months I showed y'all where I went to.
Months.
Yeah, on that Life 360.
Oh, 360.
Yes, it shows my route.
We're concerned about.
It shows my stops. I did not do anything that y'all.
All right, this is interesting. She's curling up. I'm not a huge body language guy. A lot of it's hooey, but I mean, this is pretty universal. She's like tucking up into herself, and they're talking about her missing 20-month-old child that she knows nothing about, and she wants nothing more than to get him back safe and sound. But she's not acting that way. She's getting angry. She's getting pissed at the cops. But we have Mama Laurie with a Canadian $5 in what is apparently the first super chat from Mama Laurie. Thank you so much for the Canadian $5 there. That is super awesome. No daylight savings time here in Saskatchewan. I simply tune in confident in the knowledge that you'll catch us all up with your knowledgeable commentary. Well, it's commentary. If occasionally it's knowledgeable, then, you know, thanks. It's only by accident. All right. Thank you very much for that. Mama Laurie, you rock. Leilani definitely doesn't rock, but let's get back to the screeching, shall we?
We're concerned about that night, okay? Because in this is his story, evidence shows otherwise, including the interview with Misty. You can say you talked to her all day long, but that is not true.
It is.
It's true you went into the trailer park, so we had to get you.
It's true that I got the order from her because I have the order.
It's true that you barked in the trailer park.
I stopped for 2 seconds to get the order.
You said 2 minutes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was gone for 12 minutes from the house.
Right, and you saw it in front of the dumpster.
No.
Yes.
They already stopped next to it. I just saw in front of it. That was the front of the neighborhood. Right there was the front of the neighborhood.
Bitch, they got video of you throwing shit in the dumpster.
I don't know what my baby is.
Okay. So, you know, we're putting together bits and pieces from what you originally told us with the evidence we've collected so far.
I don't know what it
You
is.
know where Quentin
I do
is.
not.
You know what happened.
I do not. I do not. I really do not know what happened to him.
Right?
He was in that bed when I went to sleep. I woke up devastated that I have a child there.
Look,
He's probably the first one seeing you go look at you smiling when you get up in the morning.
Lonnie, I can't imagine how you felt that night, right? I'm not in your shoes. So being frustrated, being a mom, 3 kids, you know, running a household, right? You're in pain, you're in an argument with Danny, you know.
Oh yeah, mirroring, reflective listening, that's all definitely
Technique.
technique.
To the point of really what happened in that house that night.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Nobody thinks you're a moral person.
I didn't do anything. I didn't take anything. That baby was at that house all night long.
But in circumstances, things happen, and we don't mean to them to. Okay? Doesn't make you a horrible person.
I just see that.
It makes you a human being.
I don't know where he's at, and I want to know.
And as a mother, you know, going through this, like I said, sometimes things happen and we don't mean for them to. It doesn't mean anything was done intentionally.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Chris has mentioned this a couple times. Chris Mullen has mentioned, that stop talking. This is why you don't talk to a lawyer. Someone should have told her to stop talking and ask for a lawyer. See, she's the mother of the missing child. She should be cooperating with the police, doing everything that. I mean, it would be weird if the mother of the missing child said, "I'm not talking to the police. Find my child. I'm not talking to the cops. I'm not giving them any information. I'm not telling him anything about what happened before or after the child went missing. I'm not saying shit." That would be extraordinarily odd. They did that with what was the case of the woman that her husband said he left her on the highway and drove home, and he like murdered her and left her body out in the desert, and his mother knew it and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's a thing. It would be extraordinarily odd if the mother of the missing child said, "Yep, not talking." All right, let's back to the screeching.
But like I said, you were going through a lot that night.
is.
Listen, being in that situation, sometimes people panic.
That's my final answer to y'all's question. I did not hurt him. I do not know where he was. And the last person that told me that he 100% seen him in that bed when I called him and asked him where Quentin was Danny. That's my last thing I gotta say. Their story has not changed. I did know everything that I could. I've gone through this over and over and over and over and over.
I'm trying to explain to you that there's inconsistencies in your story.
But I've shown everything.
And
Everything I could.
it doesn't add up. It really doesn't.
This is just a piece of the puzzle missing, but it's not me.
It's you.
It's not.
It's absolutely.
It's not me.
It is absolutely. And you can.
It ain't me, girl. No, 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 it's me.
It's not me. It's not me. I'm not doing anything. I put him in the bed. I set out his clothes for the next morning. I didn't do anything to him.
I want to help tell your story. Like I said, I'm a whole person. You have 3 kids. You obviously love them. You talk about.
It ain't me, babe.
Playing with them, putting them in bed. That shows a caring mother.
Hey, Rosalind.
If I didn't, just like I told my mother, y'all would have already had him. And I would already be hot bars and stuff. But I didn't do anything at that time. I had me questioning. Are you sure that you shut that door? Are you sure that you shut it all the way? If you don't shut it all the way, then we just stop happening. Right. I don't know. You gotta push it really hard. I was looking on my medication. Let me say, I had to fly 360 just to make sure that my times were right about when I left the house and got home.
Right. And that helps out the timeline. But like I said, you're not being 100% completely honest with us. And I want to help LEILANI tell her story about what happened, right? When we have circumstances like this, sometimes things happen. We don't mean them to. Doesn't make us a bad person. But this has been in the news a lot, right?
It's all over.
It's
I've been harassed at the hospital about it. Got people looking at my face yelling at me.
What did they say at the hospital?
But they said, you're not worthy of being a mother. Anything should have happened to anybody should have happened to you.
Right.
So that's how I said I agree.
Let me tell you about. Let me go over that with you, okay? You have an opportunity to tell me what happened, because that's how society's going to see you. It is lying this monster that deliberately did this, or was lying just in a situation that got out of control, right? And it was out of control before she knew it, right? And there was no coming back from it.
I'm not listening to what those people are saying. I was in my bed. Danny said he shook me. He said he checked on the kids. He said he's seen them all. That's what he told me when I called him at 9 something, screaming that I couldn't find my baby.
So here's your thing, LEILANI. I went through it. And it's like a note down here that says, please do everything possible to bring our little man home, right? Bring him home to you, please. And that's what we're trying to do, right? And you can keep denying all this and sticking to that story. But both you and I know that you can make that happen.
If I could, I already would.
Right? You can make it
If
happen.
I could, I already
You
would.
absolutely can make
I
it happen.
can't, because I don't know where he is, and I don't know what happened to him. Do I believe that something happened that night? Yes. Was it me? No. It was not.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What was it?
I don't know. He was asleep before I left the house at all. After we picked him up, he was asleep in that playpen. Then he verified that too.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So, let's talk about that. Let me go grab that. I'll be right back, okay? Is that cool? Just you brought it up, we'll talk about it, okay? Let me make sure they can look at this. So let's go over some things. Okay?
I thought they were going to let her sweat for a bit.
You keep saying when we're talking about Quentin, this right? You keep talking about he was there the first time he came back.
Yeah, he was there every time.
Okay. Let's talk about the second time he came back.
He was there when I was at the cigarette before I did. I checked on all the kids. Like, move his hair in his face. He gonna move from that blanket, throw him up to it. And when I started to smoke my cigarette, nobody sat up in the bed.
And the timeline showing us, so when you drive to the trailer park and you park, that's not in any of your statements. Your statements already went to the Chevron.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's when I was going around. I didn't think I had explained how I pulled it out and left. That's the only reason that was in there. I didn't think I had explained how I pulled out and left. I just had explained where I went.
Right. Well, it's completely different, right? So let's go through when you got back. What did you do?
Went outside, smoked a cigarette, went to bed. I just got her to check on Ben and Zane and Scott. All three.
All three.
They checked on all three of them.
Okay, so the second time you came back, when was in his way?
So that's like,
And
he had his hair and on his face right here. I knew it. He said, we're getting rolled over and he grabbed one and he sleep.
right, and you keep mentioning that you were loopy.
I know.
Why were you loopy if you're on ibuprofen?
Because they had
Because ibuprofen
they
that they
injected my mouth with 3 different shots.
Right.
When they gave it to me. One was to kind of sedate me, one was to numb me. I don't know what the other one was.
Okay, well, those are all surface pain medicines, right? Even through the surgery.
I don't know. It was,
But ibuprofen doesn't make you loopy.
I was like, that medicine and everything that guy they had put my heart, they injected me twice with it because I was still numb, which wasn't numb.
So we need to unmask what it is that happened, right? And we gotta get there.
Yes.
And you have to help me do that.
I'm helping everything again. I did not leave already. He was in my bed when I went to sleep, and when I got up, he was gone. When I called him and asked him, is for some reason did you just take the babysitters or what? Where's he at? Where's my baby? And he said no, he was there when I left the house. I was like, well, he's not here now. So he left work to call babysitter.
Well, we've gone over that several times, right? And that's the story you keep repeating over and over and over. And the thing about 8:59 in the morning, yeah, you probably did have that conversation with him. But we're talking about the night of Quentin going missing, right?
He was in my bed.
And what truly happened
He was in my bed.
in that house.
He was in my bed and I went to sleep. When me and my mom was sitting trying to discuss what happened between 2:30 and 5:44 when my back door was supposed to be totally open.
Let's talk about that, right?
That's what I want. That's what we heard when we about it.
So you're talking about, going through the night, you left about 10:30 to go to 2:04 to get $20 or take somebody $20. Okay, and who are you paying the $20 to? Red. And what for?
For me.
For weed. Okay. And then you return back home.
Yes.
Okay, so when you return back home, that's the first time you return back home that you're talking about.
And
And in that,
on the bed watching TV, the kids were laying down, thinking at this time, like Clayton was asleep, and Sky was fussy, but she was having fun.
okay, and then we talk about, when we get into later on in the night, and you talk about your statement too, you talk about the, and I think.
All right, they're just about to the lunch break. We'll call it a day. Break here.
I was getting frustrated with him. That's the whole reason why I left anyways, and he was the reason we did.
Okay, so you got back, so you got back with Danny, and then you got back up at some point.
Yeah, because I couldn't get comfortable.
You couldn't get comfortable. And when you got back, take me through, and in general, I don't need times or anything like that, just in
I
general.
wasn't comfortable. I was laying there for a little while. It was like almost 2 hours. I was laying there. I couldn't get to sleep. My ear was just hurting. I got getting word gel. At first I called something pain. They didn't have any word gel. So that's why I got my hurt. Came out there, right up the road, pulled in, put in the neighborhood, got it, put her down.
Okay.
Now I'm home. Now I'm home. I got outside the front door, smoked a cigarette, shut the door, went to bed.
Okay, so the second time you came home,
And I did check on the floor. I went outside all 3 of them because it's hard not to. The door's right here. Here's Quinn, here's Scott, and here's Zane.
so you're back home, and then, after you got back home around 2 o'clock, the dining room door opened and closed again. Is that what you're talking about, the cigarette?
No, my cigarettes, I got home at like 1:25. I was home before 2. I was laying down before 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So I went outside, smoked a cigarette, came back in, and I didn't know anything about that door. They didn't say anything about it either until the officers whatever came. And I said that door was open from 2:30 in the morning to 5:44. I was asleep. And 5:44 was when Danny left the house for work. He said that the door wasn't even open when he left.
Okay. So it says dining room sensor left open.
Yeah.
Okay, that can mean the door's not completely just shut off. It's not that it's wide open, it's just that it's not locked.
He said that it was locked. Like, it wasn't open.
Okay, so the second time you came back, you saw Quentin.
Yes, he was laying down.
Describe Quentin for me.
He was laying there. First it was like this. With his hair, he's got curly hair, paint all over his eyes. So when I moved out his head, he would open up, grab his leg, and sleep. Not that sleep.
And you talked a couple times about the color of his skin.
Yes, his little cheeks, they're red, like a pea red.
Pink? Are they normally pink?
Yeah, he normally has some type of colors on it. Normally, he's just an active child. But when he was sleeping, or whatever, the playpen on his face, maybe was pushing up against his cheeks. But he's fine. He's moving, breathing, he rolled over. His little cheeks, it's just like he's sleeping good, you know? It's just funny. Woke up, he wasn't there.
And you talk about how you could see like something could happen like this. Why would you think that? Sometimes in these situations, people blame themselves, right?
I blame myself because what if I didn't shut that door off?
Right, we're not talking about the rule, we're talking about Quentin, right?
Yeah.
Something happened to Quentin,
But I didn't.
right? So, but you agree, something
I
happened.
everybody agrees something happened.
And we have to,
But we have to figure out what, if I'm not the one who is what.
you are part of it.
I know I'm part of it, but I'm not the one who did anything to him. I did not take him anywhere. I didn't do anything. I didn't
Listen, I understand you get emotional. When we start talking about getting down to really what happened, when you start getting really, really emotional, I get it, right? There's a lot of Leilani you're holding on to, and that's gotta be hard.
I'm not
Right?
holding anything.
You're holding on to so much right now.
I'm not holding anything. I've been open about everything.
You're holding on to so much right now, and I don't know how you're doing that. Like I said, I want you to help me understand where you were at that night, right? And how we got to this point, right?
I
And
said everything. I cannot tell you what happened while I was asleep. I don't know.
this didn't happen while you were asleep.
It absolutely was there when I went to bed.
This didn't happen while you're asleep.
That wasn't the ibuprofen. It was whatever they injected my
You
mouth
didn't
with.
sleep murder.
It's
Kyle.
whatever that was. It wasn't the ibuprofen. It's whatever they injected my mouth with. Okay? Which is why I couldn't drive home from getting it. It was a long drive. Danny had to drive me.
Okay, and so we're talking that was like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking about
It's later at night. I'm tired. I'm getting sore.
9 hours later, right?
I'm tired. I'm getting sore now.
Has worn off, and
And I go to lay down. I was tired too. Because the night before I was up all night. Went to the hospital because of pain. And before I went back to the room.
so in these situations, and I already told you this, people get in these situations and they don't make good things happen, but sometimes it does. Bad things do happen, and sometimes bad things happen to people that are just nice to people, right?
I didn't take anything to cause my baby to go missing.
Right. And you keep saying that over and over and over, and I get as a human being, right, that we don't want to be responsible for something.
I'm not responsible for what happened to him.
Especially for, our own child, right? But if we can't protect them then, right, we gotta protect them now. Like I said, I want to keep your promise. You said, you want to find them, right? Help me help you.
I'm hoping.
Like, help me help you keep that
I'm
promise.
giving everything that I can. Everything that I'm calling, everything. I'm giving you what I can. I was even the last, he said to me that he was the last one to see him. Which is why I was 100% certain that he was there when he had left. And I got him at 9. That's why I kept praying something happened between that 3-hour period.
And also, a lot of people convince themselves after they tell the story so many times, right? Because they don't want to feel the guilt. And look, I know you feel the guilt. Because every time we get close to talking about that timeline where you were at, that's where you get the most emotional.
That's where she gets angry.
That's being accused of doing something to my own child. That's the emotion.
Right.
I didn't do anything to my own baby.
Nice.
Now, did that interview come to an end shortly after what we just watched there?
Yes, it did.
Thank you. I have some more questions, but maybe this would be a good stopping point.
We'll stop here. I know we have a ways to go as far as the testimony. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop here. We're going to break for lunch. I'm going to remind you once again, do not discuss the case. Do not do any research. Do not consume any media, watch any stories. Do not allow anyone to talk with you about the case. We're going to break now, and it's 1:20. I know y'all have a very short walk. We're going to be ready to go at 2:30. All right, you're excused.
All right, we will call it a day here, and we'll pick it up tomorrow after the lunch break. It's getting worse. I mean, if at this point, I mean, how many nails do we need to pound in this particular coffin? Jeez. Let's see. Extremely happy Simmer says nothing says Monday like starting my day off with a Korean-speaking cowboy watching a baby murder trial. Yeah, well, glad to be part of it, I suppose. Thank you so much, extremely happy Simmer. I said that we can get rid of this, can't we? Wait. Huh. All right, guess we don't need that. We'll go with that black background. 280 people wrapping us up here with how many likes? We got 258 likes. Well, let's see how we ended with a poll here real quick. This was just a random. What you doing? Put the camera over here on Yoda here for a bit. Sleepy Yoda. Just a random little poll asking you what you happen to think about time changes. I roll with the punches. I hate it for a bit, but then forget. Hate it always. And 6 months of vices in a weird time zone. 12% of you said, it's just 6 months of vices in a weird time zone. 22% of you say, I hate it for a bit, but then I forget. 32% of you say, hate it always. 34% of you say, I just roll with the punches. Personally, doesn't bother me at all because we don't do time changes here in Korea. The good Korea, not the bad Korea. All right. Well, before we wrap this up, I just want to thank all of the service members across the globe for your service to whatever country it is that you have served, and wish you, those of you that have lost loved ones, family members, friends, a very, very peaceful Memorial Day or Remembrance Day, or whatever you happen to call it in your neck of the woods. Peace be to all of you, and remember those that you've lost along the way. And hey, there we go. It's like great minds think alike. The Duster, CRC Duster, member for 3 months, says Happy Veterans Day. Thank you, vets. Appreciate it always. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the halfway point of day 3. We will pick up day 3 afternoon tomorrow. Until then, we're just going to send you off into the wild here right now. And yes, Strawberry, we're going to go play for a little bit. Just give me 2 minutes, okay? All right. Thanks for being here, chat. Thank you so much for the mods, for all the moddy goodness you do. Thank you so very, very much, chat, for the generosity, the support, the super chats, all of the other fun stuff that you've done, the gifted memberships, the purchase memberships. Thank you so much for just being here and talking to each other. Oh, look at Jonathan Irwin trying to sneak a super chat in here right under the wire to keep me here. To all of us that served, can't see what that is. We got a salute. 100, and I can't see what that. Oh, it's a helmet. Okay, I just had to look at a bigger screen over here. Ah, there you go. Thank you very much again for all of you that served, all of you that have lost loved ones, as I said, family, friends, whatever. Hope you have a peaceful Veterans Day. Right. On that note, I think we'll just leave it right there. Did I say Memorial Day earlier? I think I did. If I said Memorial Day earlier, I'm an idiot. Anyway. All right, dogs. We got to go. All right. Chill. Oh, yes. All right, everybody. What do you think? It's time to wrap it up, isn't it? Yeah. Just looking around to see if there's anywhere to send that's particularly interesting. And yes, happy birthday, Marines and former Marines. Yesterday, I believe. Please, can I just outro in peace? Thank you, please, Straubs, please. Just 30 seconds. That's all. 30 seconds. I'll go play. All right, from Yoda. Oh, let's move this so we get the full glory. From Yoda to Strawberry, who is being a little bit of a dude. It's 12:30 a.m. here. You know what? All right, let's do this. You know what? Just kidding. That's a pouch of tobacco, not a snack. Ha ha ha! Fooled you, piggy. All right, now I can just pet her while we wrap this up. For about the 5th time, we're gonna wrap this up here. Thank you to Strawberry for being my co-host, and to Yoda, who's been in a coma the entire time. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody. From me, the dogs, and my new teleprompter. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel for day 3 afternoon of the LEILANI Simon murder trial. Bye, folks. Have a great time. See you later. Out.